Oh man, I'm looking forward to covering this Fly episode. I was just taking this walk down the Dungeon of Doom, and
it's good to be back. I mean, from outer space. I mean, it's back to be on terra firma, if you know what I mean.
Hey, I didn't hire the Property Brothers. Why is things different?
Yeah,
it kind of looks like a lab.
What's going on? There's electrical wires everywhere, and this weird computer sitting here. It's got Grok on it already. What's going on?
Hello, gentlemen. Welcome to my laboratory.
Logan, why are you talking like that?
What are these things?
I've always talked like this.
What is this thing? These things look like giant butt plugs. What's going on here, man?
Bear Claw, don't look in there. That is private property.
Yeah,
you see, I've come into a lot of money.
It's very invasive.
Yeah. I've come into a lot of money, and now I've used that money to back up my research. A teleportation device.
Wealth broke his brain. I see what's happening. He's just too young.
I don't know.
No, this is perfect. It's exactly what it needs to be.
I don't know what's going on, but I'm not going anywhere near either of those things. This is definitely not safe in here.
Bear Claw, life finds a way.
Yeah, something's gonna find a way. That's kind of what I'm scared of right now.
Gentlemen, you seem a little forthright. You know what? How about this? Instead of going in, how about you just take a picture in front of it?
Right,
commemorate the memories.
All right, man. We did cost him his job.
Come on, give me something.
At that arcade. We might as well just... All right. Okay,
Billy.
everybody.
Here we go.
Next,
Get
everybody say
close together.
All right.
On freeze. Now I'm gonna do this. You're in for a safe ride.
So you are afraid of something else. We all go a little mad sometimes. You don't know what death is.
Welcome to the madness.
We are the Mouths of Madness, your new favorite podcast for horror movie reviews. We're coming to you live tonight from, inside a telepod here at the Dungeon of Doom. This is our episode 53 on the 1986 The Fly. My name is Kevin, and let me introduce you to the other members of Madness. First, we have Dan. Dan, it's a little tight in here.
Kevin, how are you so calm right now? I'm so fucking claustrophobic in this thing. How do you get me out of here? Get me out of here right now. I need to get out of here. This is too much.
Bear Claw, how about you? Hey, Logan,
Get us out of this thing, you son of a bitch.
I don't think so. You are part of my experiment now. I have to have test subjects, and the baboons have all gone sideways. Literally.
Uh-oh. Well, we got
That doesn't sound good, guys.
We got to record this episode.
Excuse me, guys. If somebody could let us out of here, please. This is just too much.
We need an adult.
Help.
You know what? We're going to trudge on with the episode because there are a lot of other great horror movie podcasts out there. But what separates us from the other ones is that we're going to be giving you the older versus younger generation perspective. Myself, Dan, and Bear Claw were all born in the 1980s, while my son Logan was born in the 2000s. So this is the clash of the generations. Without any further ado, grab a cheeseburger, pull out your teeth, hold...
Put them in your personal body museum.
Try that again. Pull out your teeth, hold on to the walls tight, and let's dive into the madness. We watched The Fly from 1986. It's celebrating its 40th anniversary. It's our age, boys.
It's a fine
We're
vintage
celebrating
for sure.
with The Fly.
And Mr. Goldblum all together.
Yes.
It was written by Charles Edward Pogue and is based on the 1957 short story The Fly by George Langeland. It was also written by David Cronenberg and directed by David Cronenberg.
Yeah.
Do you know what he's best known for?
Oh, I know what he's best known for. He's best known for like Videodrome before this, Scanners. I mean, this man is the body horror king of Canada because he's Canadian, I believe, right?
I would say the world.
Yeah, I would say the world too. Yeah.
Not just Canada. Casting wise, we have the incredible Jeff Goldblum as Seth Brundle. What's he best known for?
Life finds a way.
Or Jurassic Park
dinosaur
theme.
guy.
Yeah.
Any other ones?
I mean, there's
Earth
so
girls
many.
are easy.
Yeah. I mean,
Thor Ragnarok.
Or Ragnarok.
Ah, the god of sparkles.
Independence Day.
Independence
that's
Day. Yeah.
And most recently, Wicked.
Oh, yeah. I didn't catch either of the Wicked movies. He was also pretty good in like this Netflix like Greek god thing that they did called Chaos.
Oh,
I
really?
saw that. Yeah,
It was actually pretty good. It didn't get renewed for a second
Canceled.
season, but he was Zeus in it. But he
Oh.
was pretty good in it.
We also have Geena Davis as Ronnie. Do you know what
Yep.
she's best known for?
Beetlejuice.
Yep.
Stuart Little.
Yes, she was in Stuart.
Cutthroat Island.
Yes.
Rhode Island.
That-
Yeah.
I also have Thelma and Louise and A League of Their Own.
Oh yeah, that was a banger.
We have John Getz as Stathis. Do you know what he's best known for?
I don't know, but he's got a very familiar
Yeah,
face.
he does.
I feel like he's in a lot of 80s movies.
You know, it's funny. He reminded me a lot, for some reason, of who's the guy in Die Hard who's the jerk?
Yeah, the villain there.
Hans Gruber, right?
Hans
But
Gru-
not Hans Gruber. I was thinking
like
of
the corporate jerk there.
Yeah.
From Die Hard. I get
the guy who's like, hey, baby,
let's make a deal.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Nathan, put it in. What's his name?
Editor's note, his name is Harry Ellis.
Editor's note, we don't know.
Editor's note, yes, I do.
I have him listed for The Social Network and Zodiac. So,
Okay.
a
All
couple
right.
newer movies. The Fly had a budget of $9 to $15 million. Do you know how much it made at the box office?
I think this was a pretty big movie in its day. I'm going to go, it is the 80s still, 120 million.
Logan?
I'm gonna go a little lower, probably a lot lower. I didn't expect this movie as much. 35 mil.
Yeah.
I have to recuse myself. I accidentally saw how much it made in my research.
Oh.
Ah,
Well, you're an honest man. Logan, you're the closest.
No.
is it really that low?
60 million.
Yeah,
Oh,
The Fly
okay.
made
60
$60.6 million.
I was
That's still
surprised
pretty
by
good.
that.
Yeah,
I
that's
was
still
surprised.
really
This was a
good.
big movie, I thought.
I think
1986 for a body horror film. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Currently on Rotten Tomatoes, The Fly has a 94% critic score
Mm.
Wow.
and an 83% audience score. So
Wow.
this is certified fresh.
Jesus.
Certified fresh.
The
Nice.
Goldblum.
Roger Ebert.
Wow, he actually
Here we
reviewed
go.
this shit.
Here we
He
go.
did not rate The Fly,
Aw.
but The Fly was part of his top 20 films list from 1986.
Whoa.
And he
Oh.
said that Jeff Goldblum deserves an Academy Award nomination for his
So
role.
he really liked
Absolutely.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was Bear Claw's pick for an episode. So, Bear Claw, why did you choose The Fly for us to review?
My headline for The Fly is it's a different type of horror. It's not the slasher. It's not the evil in the dark. It's not the satanic demon. It's a different type of horror. It's a little bit more of a personal horror. And I think that is what makes this movie special in my mind. There's not really a lot of melodrama in the movie. There's not a good guy. There's not a bad guy. The characters are complex. Their motivations are complex. And it introduces all of these questions and these thoughts and really provokes you into thinking about, some of the concepts the movie presents you with and some of the challenges the characters have. So, I mean, that's really what drove me to this movie. Is it's not necessarily a happy movie. I don't know that it's necessarily a fun movie, but it is an important movie. And I think that it tickles a different type of horror and a different type of fear. That's what I really like about it. I was introduced to this movie because I watched a lot of special effects shows when I was younger with my dad. And that's a memory from when I was younger is, watching these special effects shows where they go like behind the scenes and show all this stuff. And The Fly was always one of the things that was rolled out as far as fantastic special effects. And there was even a special effects show, I think, at like Disney or something where where they brought out a telepod and like an alien came out or something. It was like a special effects makeup show, and so that's something that's always made The Fly very near and dear to my heart. But then upon actually watching it, you know, because that was all when I was younger, upon actually watching it and seeing the complex story, that's what made me want to share it with everybody. You had seen it before, right?
I hadn't seen it before.
Oh, you hadn't seen it before?
I've seen it before.
You've seen it before. Logan, had you seen it before? No, that's why I wanted to share it with you gentlemen, because I like to think that there's more than one way to get terrified.
For sure. Let's give you our overall thoughts on The Fly. Dan, start us off.
Bearclaw, that was an excellent opening explanation. I wholeheartedly agree with your assessment. For me, The Fly and its sequel were the biggest gross out films for me growing up. What I like about it is that it appeals to your morbid curiosity. For me, Cronenberg's body horror gets me thinking about the physical and biological nature of death. In his movies, death is so grounded in reality and far and away from any kind of spiritual perspective of death. You only have one mind, you only have one body, you get one shot to do something with it before it starts decaying. And Seth Brundle has plans to revolutionize humanity.
I'm working on something that'll change the world.
With his teleportation machine. Brundle is so likable, so smart, and has the entire world in front of him, and you really want him to succeed. You really want him to end up with Geena Davis, like in the beginning when he's shooting his shot. And then in his research, he gets a little hasty and he makes this one catastrophic mistake. And it's essentially a death sentence for him as a man. And for anyone who's had to watch a family member or friend pass away from a terminal disease, this sure feels like a portrayal in a sense of that. There's so much fear of what's going to happen to Seth. Can Veronica be strong enough to endure seeing this man that she's grown to love and watch him melt away into something completely unrecognizable and scary? There's just a lot of good humanistic themes in the subtext of The Fly. It's visually jarring, gross, and impressive. I like how intimate of a movie it is, with it being such a small cast, and I think it speaks to both the ability of Goldblum and Davis being strong enough actors to carry this story with the weight that it has, but also having so much charisma to keep you invested. They really do work so well together in this movie. I haven't seen this in maybe about 15 years, and it hits so differently as a grown man. It's more than just a gross out movie, and it is a really excellent example of tragic storytelling.
Bearclaw, do you have any more thoughts that you want to share? How many times have you rewatched The Fly? Is it one of your
go-tos? I've
go-tos?
seen The Fly quite a few times.
Yeah.
You know, I've got a lot to say about this movie, and I'll kind of sprinkle it in and pace myself a little bit, but there's so much meat on the bone with The Fly because you can look at it from a couple of different angles. A lot of people say it's kind of Kafka-esque, speaking to Kafka's work on the Metamorphosis. I don't know that I'm fully in tune with that interpretation of it, just because I think there's how I interpret Kafka or the Metamorphosis is a little bit different, but not to wax too outside about that. But I think it's closer to probably more like Frankenstein kind of situation, where it's more like the dangers of science than necessarily about being an artist or something of that nature. But yeah, I mean, there's just so much, and I'm kind of rambling because I'm trying to think of where to even start, because you know, where do we talk? Do we talk about whether it's, you know, like Kafka or not like Kafka? Do we talk about just the scariness of teleportation and kind of the ship of Theseus kind of thing? Is if you're taken apart and put back together, is what's put back together you? There's so much philosophy in this, and just going through the philosophy involved in it. And you know, I'm a little bit of a philosophy nerd, and some of the philosophical problems you got to tackle with some of this stuff and some of the philosophical problems that this movie presents you with, they're like true horrors, and they're not horrors that can be gotten away from, or, you know, or they're kind of existential horrors that we have to even confront today, even more so than in 1986, because now we've got things like AI and
true.
you know, where is the line and losing our humanity, and where is the line from where human begins and machine begins? You know, all of that stuff is all great conversations you can have around this movie. So, you know, that's why I was so excited to come everybody watch this and get your take. What's your take on this, Kevin? I'm so excited that this is the first time that you've seen this.
Yeah, I mean, this is one that's always been on my list, I'll be honest. I've heard about the body horror and the effects, and obviously David Cronenberg for a long time. So this has always been on my short list, and I'm glad you picked this movie because it really gives me the opportunity to dive into this one and experience The Fly, because I think it is an experience for sure. A lot of what you talked about, right? Teleportation and things like that. I mean, it's a lot of heavy subjects, right?
Yeah.
And you could get so in the weeds with everything. But what I like about this movie is they don't go fully into the weeds of everything.
Yeah.
You know, it's more of a show don't tell in a lot of aspects. Like, yes, there is some scientific stuff that they layer in there, but a lot of it is the audience seeing what's actually happening and what could happen and you know, all that stuff. So I think I appreciate that because they could have went the way of getting like really diving into teleportation.
Technical.
Yeah, right. Teleportation, all the technical stuff.
Lithium crystals and stuff,
Yeah.
Star Trek stuff. Yeah.
Like, yeah, it could have been a real lot. And instead they ended up really focusing on the human storyline, right?
Yeah.
And
It's all about the relationship.
yeah, and I think that was the right call because I'll be honest, you know, I know this is classified as a body horror movie. I actually think it's like a monster movie because it has a lot of those classic monster movie elements to it. And I'm talking like universal monster movie elements.
Very Frankenstein, you know? Yeah.
Very true. And like you said, the idea of man and machine and, you know, and forbidden knowledge, back to that too, is all really prevalent in this movie. We'll get to a lot of like the really intricacies of this movie and what I think, you know, are some of the great things in this. I think Jeff Goldblum is amazing in this movie. I think he gets a lot of shit for being over the top, like Nicolas Cage a lot of times.
Sure.
But this movie makes you appreciate Jeff Goldblum because, Dan, like you said, this movie is really just Jeff Goldblum and Geena Davis.
90% of the time.
That's it.
That's the only people that are in this movie.
When I read our cast out, I mean, 3 people pretty much, but I mean, like you said, 90%, you know, and Geena Davis too, you got to give credit to both those actors because they are strong. They are really good. I think if you had less actors, this would not hold up at all. It would fall apart. And so I think that's what makes it really good.
And they kept the movie pretty tight too.
Yeah.
Like they kept it at a good runtime. I think there's a lot more explaining they could have done, or a lot more, like you said, but they tightened it up. When I say tighten it up, this is kind of a good point of this movie. I'm very curious to hear what Logan's gonna have to say. This is a little bit of a more old school movie. This is not the Avengers model of things. But
it could have been. Logan, what's your overall thoughts on The Fly? This is your first time seeing it, right?
Yeah, this is my first time. And this movie is very of its time. Definitely, like it definitely shows. Like it's not classifying itself as a timeless movie. Like it's very set in its era of the 80s. Like you can tell with like style and the way they kind of talk around things, like certain characters there, like the way they are written is very set in their times. But you know, like I'm a guy who loves kind of the older movies, so it's fine with me. My biggest gripe with this movie is just the fact that it takes so long to finally get to where it's going. And I think like it's fine if you like big long waits to get to like greatness, but like for me it's just way too long to like get through. I swear to God, you have to sit through like an hour of Jeff Goldblum exposition to get to the gold at the end of the rainbow. Like it's fine. Like it's a good movie. Like I'm not saying it's bad. It's just it is very long and it feels long. Like there was like a time where I was in the movie and I was like, holy shit, please let's get somewhere. And there was like multiple times where I was definitely like feeling it. But I will say, once it gets to that final like climatic scene, it really picks up, and that final scene is just like devastating to watch. I think like this movie does a great job of really giving you the existential crisis of being a creature to someone else, like especially someone you love, for someone to have to be the one to put you away. Like that's really like, that is really heartbreaking. Like that really like got to me where I'm like, holy shit, man. Like, and I knew it was happening. I knew it was going to happen. I didn't know if it was going to be like his decision or hers.
Yeah, and like in the first parts of the movie is really kind of a love story up until the point where Jeff Goldblum decides he's going to go in the telepod. It's pretty much a love story with a sprinkle of sci-fi in there. So
Yeah.
I understand that. I think it's necessary, but I understand it because the first part of the movie is a little bit slower, and it does let the concepts breathe a little bit. But
I also think it helps build that relationship and chemistry.
yeah,
with
it shows that
Goldblum
they're
and
kind
Davis.
of really in
They
love.
had a
or
good
that, but
chemistry.
not only that, but how they start out as strangers,
Yeah.
and then they get to that point,
Yeah.
and then tragedy hits, and it breaks that log.
I like how they show it as like a whole relationship where it's not just this neat, like they just happen to both be single. Like he's some kind of recluse weirdo. She's like a press journalist, but I mean, she's got kind of a messy thing going on with that Stanthus guy, which is like a weird name, but
That
whatever.
is a weird name,
I was
right?
gonna say I've never heard that name before.
Stanthus, yeah.
I thought that was his
Stathis?
last name, Stathis. Yeah.
No, it's Stathis something, but Stathis is his first name, I think.
Stathis
Already.
Borans.
Stathis Borans, yeah.
Holy
Just
shit.
that just sounds like a kitchen cleaner.
Yeah.
Take your
like
Stathis
Borax.
Boran.
Yeah, like you've got like you flesh them out as kind of real people. You can see Jeff Goldblum's inexperience with dealing with people, and you can see Veronica, or Ronnie, as she's kind of known throughout the film. Ronnie is like kind of a tough journalist, kind of investigative
April
journalist.
O'Neil
She's a
type.
real shark.
Yeah,
she
she's
is
a
April
real.
O'Neil. Yeah, I like though right away. Even though Jeff Goldblum is obviously socially awkward and stuff,
Motion sickness. When I was a kid, I puked on my tricycle.
he comes across as charismatic, doesn't he? Like,
Yeah.
he lures even the audience in and Ronnie, I think, at the same time, because you're like, man, there's something like heartwarming about this guy, and like, you know, you root for him right away.
He does. That's one of the things that I love about this movie is there really isn't a bad guy.
Right.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, there's not a bad guy. 'Cause
Just bad
even-
circumstance.
Yeah, bad circumstances. And when Jeff Goldblum or when Brundlefly is doing the crazy stuff, it's mostly the insect.
Yeah.
Like, as that line blurs, that's where things, when he talks about like insect politics.
Insects don't have politics. They're very brutal. No compassion. No compromise.
He's like, they're brutal, and he starts to lose his mind, and the madness slips in. You're not dealing with Brundle anymore. You're dealing with Brundlefly. That's a different entity in its entirety.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I just thought getting into it right away. I mean, Jeff Goldblum, I thought was really amazing in this movie, and straight away because he is that character that we can all root for, I think. And like you said, that makes the tragedy part so much worse because it pulls the audience heartstrings, right?
Oh yeah.
You mentioned like no one's really good or bad in this movie. It's a very humanistic, real telling of how people are, because even like Stathis's character, right? We don't like him. He shows up at Ronnie's apartment. He's like kind of the jealous ex-boyfriend, right?
He's a jerk,
What about sex? Yeah, I'm not saying love or affection, just stress relieving sex. You and me.
But he's human emotions,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I would even say like he kind of has a character change, a slight character change. Like once he sees like Seth in that state, like it almost kind of starts to have empathy for him instead of being like that fucking asshole took my girl.
Yeah,
Right.
no, yeah. Once things get serious, I mean, Stanthus becomes kind of like he becomes a lot less of, I mean, he's kind of like a jerk when he just thinks it's like a boyfriend thing, and like, he's kind of tough like that. But I mean, once the stuff starts to get serious and and everything like that, and in her dream and stuff, like he kind of steps up, and again, not inherently evil, but
No, he's not a bad guy at the end of the day. And like you said, when he knows she's in actual real danger,
yeah.
he steps up and he's there to protect her. Like he obviously cares about her. And,
Yeah.
Again, he's just real human emotions. Jealousy, that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Logue, magic word.
Cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger.
I love it.
I love it too because like there's this idea that he is a magician and this is all a facade, right? When Ronnie's like he goes to show her the teleportation thing and she's not believing it. I love like that. But what I also appreciate, right, is when she sees it for herself and knows it's true, it's like It's true.
Boom.
You
Yeah.
know, it's not one of those things because I always hate the trope in movies where it's like you see something, you know what happened, but then you're just like, no, it didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
The skeptic.
Yeah.
The skeptic route. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we spend the whole movie like trying to prove what actually happened. And I thought they were going to go there, to be honest with you. I thought this was going to lead down the path. He was going to have to prove it works. So he was going to have to go in there and then this happens sort of deal. So it was refreshing that it didn't go down that path, you know? Because like you said, they do come together here and they almost form a team. Like she wants to see this out as well. Like they make that deal that she's going to write a book, right?
Let me become your major project. I'm talking about a book. Follow me and my work day by day in as much detail as you can stand.
Well, they both have motivations to be super successful people. And like, it's his groundbreaking work and she's the author of it. Like the story of it.
Right.
So it's like you're right. It's a team.
Yeah, I think that's a cool thing. Like they come together and it's because you're rooting for him to be able to teleport the baboon and really be successful.
First time doesn't work out so hot.
Oh my God. Yeah, that was pretty gross. Logan, what did you think of the teleportation, the telepods as they're known?
You mean
right?
the butt plug?
The butt plugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were fine. I mean, they were definitely like, I would have said probably the shittiest. Like exactly what I thought it would be because I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. Here's a low budget movie. Let's see these teleportation pods. And they were exactly as I thought they would be. Like shitty ass. Like,
You think those look shitty? I thought they looked pretty cool.
I think they look cool too, but
dude, they look like a tanning bed. Like I'll be 100%. They look
One of the fake spray ones that you step in it and it just sprays you.
I do not get sprayed.
like in Paul Blart when he's like having to be like gets trapped in the spray tan and it just gets him. Like that's pretty much all I could think of. Yeah, it's really not good. Like I will say, like I think a lot of this movie spends its time more on the actual like story itself instead of focusing on like the technology and stuff, which is fine. It doesn't need to.
That's a good point because it's not overly like technology stuff. Like
you don't he didn't spend that much money. He said it himself. He's not an expensive person.
That's true. That's why they let him do it, right? He's not getting a whole bunch. But I feel like it was good to pull back because I think it would have been overwhelming too if you walked into his apartment and he just had like a motherboard, a fucking, computer shit everywhere.
Have you guys ever seen the movie Pi?
Yes.
Well, like that's where like he has this little claustrophobic apartment that is like wall to wall circuit boards, and it's tense. Like, and I don't think that's the vibe they were going for. I don't know, like him being in a warehouse I thought was cool, and like honestly I feel like if you took that big computer that he had with the CRT and replaced it with like a laptop or something, change some wardrobe and some cars around just because there's not Sobs anymore, unfortunately, and like this movie would still be the same movie in the modern times.
I think they're actually talking about remaking it, and
That's
I think
a shame,
Jordan Peele I think is attached to production of it.
Really? Yeah. I don't know, because you can't do what this movie did with CGI. You need
that practical magic.
Let's get into that because that's another note I have on this movie. The special effects are amazing, especially for 1986. I mean, these
40 years ago.
Yeah, these are some of the greatest practical effects I've seen with and specifically, and I know Logan was saying it takes a lot to get to the kind of the big scenes, but I do like how there is a gradual transformation that takes place, right? And we see like the effects, how they go little by little, the changes, right? And
fingernails falling out, but like he starts off where he's like super strong, but like he goes to arm wrestle that guy, and as he's arm wrestling him, you see that milky white his
the grip.
The grip. You see his like hand, his flesh is starting to like disintegrate, and like I mean, it's artistry. I mean, you see him really break down over time.
You know that this movie won an Oscar for its special effects.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should, because I was trying to put myself in the audience shoes in 1986.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You know,
this would've
seeing
blown
this,
my
like,
mind.
holy shit.
I would have been like, no way.
I remember watching Terminator 2. I was really young, probably like in 92 after it came out, and being like, these are effects? Like, this
Yeah,
is crazy.
This is nuts.
But like, if I had seen The Fly, then like, oh my God. You know, and then obviously the full transformation, tearing the skin away and just...
When he's like finally in his like final form, and when he's going through that whole scene where he's like, oh, these teeth, these are just ancient vestigial things.
Your relics, vestigial, archaeological, redundant.
These are no big deal. And he puts it in that museum. You can see his like appendix or something is in there. Like organs
The
have been
ear.
falling out of him, the ear, and like him just crawling on the ceiling. And I mean, there's so many things of his transformation.
The hairs.
Yeah, the hairs
yeah.
on his back,
In the
and
back, yeah.
you know,
yeah.
he kind of wrestles, and there's long periods of time where like there's weeks where he's like by himself and he's wrestling with like, is he disintegrating and dying, or is he transforming into something new? And he kind of goes back and forth from like hopeful to like depressed and angry, and
It's
like,
that process of grief. He's mourning his loss of humanity, and he's bargaining, trying to be like, well, you know, if it'll be better this way.
Wants to turn me into something else. That's not too terrible, is it? Most people would give anything to be turned into something else.
Well, maybe it won't be this way. Like, yeah.
It's heavy, man. It's a heavy,
Yes.
heavy toll that it's taking. And it takes a toll on Ronnie, too. And I think it is cool that they don't spend too much time like showing him over the weeks. Like, we just get the snippets of how he's...
you kind of get
changing.
it from Ronnie's point of view.
Yeah.
You really see him when she sees him.
Yeah, right.
And I think that's a good way of doing it, and that's a cool way of doing it.
Right away when he started like growing those little hairs in the back, I was like, this
is not good.
This is not good, right? There's a little tease too of the idea of man and machine coming together, right? Where he like cuts himself on that little what is that? The microchip or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's almost like he's embedded in it now, right?
Yeah.
And obviously in the final scene where he transforms with the actual machine, it's a full-on integration. But I like that concept of like man and machine becoming one.
Yeah, it's such an interesting question nowadays, especially when you've got people who have like relationships with AIs, and like, and even throughout this movie that's kind of wrestled with, because it's right back to that, you know, I don't know if you guys have heard of like the ship of Theseus, right? Which it talks about like there's the original ship of this Greek guy named Theseus, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, okay, but let's say they take a board out of that ship and replace it because it broke. They take that board and they kind of put it aside somewhere. Well, how many boards of that ship do you need to replace before that's no longer the ship of Theseus?
Gotcha.
The original ship of Theseus.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of the thought experiment in summary is like, okay, well, how much do you replace before that's no longer the ship of Theseus?
Yeah.
That's kind of a very interesting point, and especially when you're talking about like teleportation and disintegrating and rebuilding and things like that, is like, where does Brundle begin and the Fly end, and the Fly end and Brundle begin, and like even just the technology, it's just a really interesting kind of thing to think about. And just teleportation is something that I like talking about too, because even at Star Trek, because Star Trek it's treated as like such like a, oh, you know, no big deal, I'm just going to teleport down to the planet. But okay, well, think about the horrors of teleportation as a concept, right? You're taken apart and you're put back together in theory. Did you die when you were taken apart? Is that the end of you? And then there's just another you that pops up that's molecularly identical, but is it you? What is you? You know, back to the ship of Theseus problem. The teleporter is kind of like an existential thing.
Yeah, for sure. I think too, as the audience, like watching this, I was really hopeful when he did teleport, and then all of a sudden he's got like this super strength, right? Jeff Goldblum becomes cool here.
He could try out for the Olympics at this
Yeah.
point.
He was always cool.
Well, yeah, you're right, but he becomes like
Cooler.
How do you do that? He's already a 10, so he's got to be like turned up to a 12.
Now he's like a badass. And like this part I had a little trouble with because I was questioning what is happening to him at this point, because he like wants nothing to do with Ronnie all of a sudden because she won't get in the teleportation.
Seth, you have to listen to me.
You're afraid to dive into the plasma pool, aren't you? You're afraid to be destroyed and recreated, aren't you?
Uh-huh.
And then he's going out to the bar and he's like picking up that girl.
I think he knows something went sideways. It's like denial almost.
Oh,
like,
okay.
He knows something went sideways. He doesn't want to admit that to himself. So he's like, oh no, nothing went wrong. I've just become a Superman. And now somebody else has to go through to confirm that what's happening to me is going to be the normal thing. And they'll be Supermen too. And everybody will be great, because it's almost like a denial thing. Like he wants it so badly to work and to think that he's like, he's somehow like purified himself through the teleportation.
Because he talks a lot about like, well, now he's like just the best version of himself.
Yeah.
My theory is that the fly genetics, it's like the slowly taking in.
Oh yeah.
And it's like it becomes like his primal instinct. His primal instincts are of a fly.
Yeah, exactly. Which and that's exactly what's happening. And it's like just the start of that. But I mean, back to what you were saying about teleportation. My thing with Star Trek was always like, well, if you can teleport, like you could probably like cure diseases because you could just teleport, like just have it rebuild you without the disease in it or disease in
it could
you.
like change
or
your
like
genetic
if
makeup.
you wanted to shave off a couple of pounds, like Scotty, like, you know, let's leave 10 pounds behind on the planet, you know, like.
I like to Seth's reason for wanting to create teleportation is because he's motion sick, right? All the time.
Yeah. And he's got to be some type of like, what do they call that? People who are afraid to go out into the world,
Agoraphobic.
like agoraphobic. He's got to have some elements of that.
He's got some compulsion disorders, right? Because like he has the same outfits and stuff like that, and is very routine.
5 sets of exactly the same clothes?
Learned it from Einstein.
Einstein, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's cool that like they have all this stuff in here because it does eventually like lead to this horrible conclusion for him, you know, which I guess was going to happen. Before we get to the conclusion, though, I had already in my mind, Logue, I know this is your first time watching this. Did you already pick up on the point that like, okay, Ronnie's going to be pregnant with his baby?
I thought about it and I was like, no, because that's too much. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess we're going for it.
What did you think of that dream sequence of
Jesus Christ, I'd be scared too of having my kid be in a it's like Mae Young's hand.
If you're a wrestling fan, you'll get that.
And I mean, if you show up and Cronenberg's your gynecologist, run. There's some shit's about to go down. It's not.
Oh my goodness.
That was a tough scene in this movie.
It's kind of crazy in theory that they put this out in the world in this movie because there is no foregone conclusion to what happens to the baby, right?
Yeah.
Yes, there is. It's called The Fly 2.
The Fly 2.
Oh, okay. See, I haven't seen The Fly.
But yeah, if there was never a Fly 2, you're right.
Yeah.
They leave you with this open-ended, because they throw the dream out there, right? And then it puts it in your head in the audience like, oh, fuck.
There were some deleted scenes too where like she has like she has a dream about having a butterfly baby or something like that. But they left that on the cutting room floor.
You know what? That brings me to a question I want to ask everybody. If you had to be in one of these
sex with a fly,
if you had to be in one of these telepods with an insect of some kind, which would you choose?
None.
If you had to.
If I had to, huh?
Yeah, if you had to, like, become one of these insects.
Does it have to be an insect?
Yeah.
What do you want,
be an animal?
I was just say a bear or something, but then you're a furry, so I don't know. That's a whole other. That's a whole other direction to take things. I don't know. Maybe like an ant. An ant would be cool, right?
Oh no, I don't
like
know.
Like a fire ant,
like a fire ant or something. Yeah,
badass.
I mean, we're kind of getting into Transformers territory, right?
Fucking roly-poly.
A Tyrannosaurus Rex.
He'll be a beetle.
Beetle?
Beetle's a good one.
Beetle's
Beetle's a good one.
Beetles are pretty chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Bumblebee. Like,
No.
I'm thinking of Transformers now too, Bear Claw.
Yeah, Bumblebee would be chill. I mean, you got to think of what traits you'd take on from it, you know? I was thinking ant because you'd be pretty strong, but
Yeah.
I don't know. A single ant, though, is not.
By yourself. But you'd be like a giant ant.
And you'd have
Be
like,
like a
probably
giant
have like at least 4 arms.
Yeah.
But what's
So that'd
the
be pretty
worst
chill.
insect to be?
I would say.
Fly would probably be the worst.
Spider?
Oh, I was gonna say centipede.
Oh, yeah.
Centipede.
Well, we already know that kind of movie.
Oh.
Spider might not be bad.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah, you could be Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I think you'd
but
be the worst. I think you'd be like the mutant version of
Scorpion.
Spider-Man.
Man spider.
Scorpion.
Scorpion, you could be pretty
Oh.
cool. That'd be chill to have like a tail that stings people.
Yeah, there's
That'd
a
be pretty
Spider-Man
impressive at
villain.
the corporate board table. Like, anybody have anything to say? Yeah,
Just any Spider-Man villain.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that's true. A lot of them are mixtures of
Insects.
scientific anomalies. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't want to be any insect.
yeah, obviously.
I wouldn't want to
mean,
do this
the
because
most
you're pretty
messed
much
up
telling me to die.
Like praying mantis would probably be the worst one, I think, just because you'd look pretty weird.
Well, and plus, if we're male praying mantis, we're not long for the world.
Yeah,
we're getting our
Oh,
head eaten
yeah.
off.
Yeah, head eaten off. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That's definitely on the negatives column.
I mean, getting to the conclusion here, these effects like really kick it up to high gear.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, his full transformation scene, even before that, where he's just so disgusting looking. And then Stathis is trying to stop him. And then he fucking throws up acid
on his hand and on his leg, and you just see the acid just melt. I mean, that's Cronenberg's genius right there, man. I mean, one of the things that's going to be tough is we don't really have a hook for this movie because nobody, in theory, dies. But I mean, R.I.P. to Stathis' hand and foot because those things are gone. I guess in another cut they had him eating it, but I guess they wanted to stick to that R rating, you know. But oh man, just that hand melt, like you could feel it too. You're
the sizzling effect and everything. Yeah, it's funny too because there were build-up scenes earlier, foreshadowing scenes where he like was talking to her, right, and just like, whoa.
Yeah,
he has the little like education videos, like tracking his progress.
How does Brundlefly eat? Well, he found out the hard and painful way that he's very much the way a fly eats. His teeth are now useless because although he can chew up solid food, he can't digest it.
He's like, I'm a fly now, and this is how they eat.
That's disgusting.
You know, and you can tell he kind of like gets like more buzzy.
Yeah,
and,
it's twitchy, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. It's funny because he's a very eccentric man, so like,
yeah,
it works.
It works.
He's starting off.
It really just and then you get to the complete madness, right? That's taken over him. And he wants to combine himself, Ronnie, and the baby into one.
You, me, and the baby. Together.
And the fly, I guess. Brundlefly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, because he was like, "You've got more human, and I'll be more human."
To one combined being, like what would that look like?
I think it would look like there's actually an enemy in Dark Souls where it's like the father, and he has the wife and the kid attached to him, and he's called like Pinwheel.
Oh,
that's what it would look like. And let me tell you, Pinwheel looks just like it sounds.
I'm kind of glad we didn't get that far because Stathis saves the day here. You know, he comes in really
that bitch. I don't like that he was just in her shower, like when she was out.
Yeah, I mean it's the 80s, so I mean,
and then he's just a douche the entire time. Like, you know, I think it's you unconsciously loving me.
Unconsciously, you still want me to come back.
What? Just get out of my house.
You know what, too? And if it wasn't for
Give me my key back. No.
Key.
I'll keep it for old time's sake.
I think I'm gonna keep it. A reminder of our memories. Like, oh, you son of a bitch.
Ew. That's what I picture in my mind that they would look to.
Pinwheel.
Pinwheel. Ugh. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think that's why this movie actually is like, it paints people in a real human light, because everyone's not perfect, and Stathis is not perfect for sure. He's more borderline. You know what? And thinking about it, it's really his fault that Seth becomes Brundlefly, because if it wasn't for him, like putting out that magazine
doing
cover,
a little tantrum fit, being a little special boy, like
it sends Ronnie off, which fucks up Seth in the head.
She's working for her old boyfriend. Now she runs out late at night to see him. What is this, the Ronnie game?
And he's like, fuck it, I'm getting in the telepod.
What are we waiting for? Let's do it.
And like, that's a very relatable moment for me personally, where Seth's like, you're wondering like what's going on, like, whoa, it's his ex-boyfriend, she's going over there in the middle of the night. As a more secure individual would be like, oh, everything's okay, but like, he's a reclusive guy. He doesn't have
girlfriends.
He doesn't have the depth of relationship experience. So, it's very much just like, well, fuck it, let's try the machine and
back to work.
Yeah.
That's why communication's key too, because Ronnie could have been like, hey, this is what's going on. Let me lay the truth out for you.
And she did. She came back and she
came back, but it was too late. Why didn't she do it then? Before she left.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. And then we get the ending where he just, I guess it fucks up, right? Like
he becomes Brundlefly pod.
Yeah. Because the computer like fucks up, and then he's like half machine too now.
Yeah.
He just takes the gun and he's like basically like old.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he's just at that point he's like giving up. He's like, that's it. Like,
I thought she was just gonna have to kill him, like, and he wasn't gonna be conscious. Like, he was gonna be like unable to speak, and she would have no choice but to put him out.
But he was kind of like,
yeah, and that really hurt, because I'm like, man, even he is ready. Like,
yeah, he knows, like, hey, this is fucked up.
Well, I mean, the only evil one in the whole story is really the fly, but I mean, the fly is just being a fly, like
right.
Everybody's just, insects are brutal. Have you ever heard of insect politics?
I think the most heartbreaking scene for me is when he talks about he's an insect that had a dream about being
a man. Yeah.
And that whole scene is just,
I'm an insect who dreamt he was a man and loved it, but now the dream is over and the insect is awake.
Mm-hmm.
That was such a heartbreaking line.
I mean, the scene where he literally just is shaking at like what just happened. And he just goes, I'm scared.
I'm scared.
Like, that just was like, shit, man. Like, in all these movies and all these shows, you kind of get the sense they're scared, but you never get like the actual verbatim, I'm afraid. Like, I'm afraid of what's going to happen. Like, and that's terrifying. Like, you get a sense of terror with that, because you know what's going to happen. Like, he's going to change, like everything is going to.
And he's scared. Like, he's scared. He puts on a good show, but he's like, at the end of the day, he's like, I'm scared, and he needs a hug,
What got me too was the scene where he learns that Ronnie is deciding to no longer carry his baby, and he's like, it's the only part of me that's left.
The baby might be all that's left of the real me. Please don't kill me.
Oh, yeah.
And like, for me, it's just like, oh, like that's it.
I want to touch on something Dan had brought up earlier in ending this, kind of going over the movie. Do you think that this movie does have deeper themes of this being like a terminal illness or like AIDS specifically? Because
with the baby, that's where my head went.
Yeah. I was thinking too, the way he kind of talked about it like a disease many times.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think it's showing itself as a bizarre form of cancer.
Yeah, I mean, the baby stuff, I think for me was the big, like Dan said, it was the big thing, because I'm like, yeah, I mean, people who have children, I think like that's the big fear for a lot of them, with people who are like terminally ill with these diseases. Like, a big one is obviously like people who are susceptible to cancer,
passing it on to your
and
kids
passing
and
it on, because that kind of genetical thing is a really hard thing to like really process. Even things like your child being unable to hear or see, like that's a big problem with like a lot of people, where you kind of have to think like, am I going to be okay with like bringing someone in with that? So I think like that was the big thing for this movie, that was like bringing it back to reality, is like, yeah, he may be a fly. Like, this is something out of sci-fi horror, but it's also like something that we kind of have to deal with and sort of like understand, is that like, this is just a way of telling a story that's set in reality while also delving into the sci-fi horror aspect of our own tragedy in life.
Yeah.
Going back to the whole AIDS thing too, like you think about it, she's not only worrying about like with AIDS, like if you have sex with somebody with AIDS, you are putting yourself at risk, but then if you get pregnant, your baby is also at risk. And then there's like that whole unknown part aspect of it. Will I survive this pregnancy? What will be the outcome of my baby be? Like all those questions and everything. Yeah, I think it's pretty.
There's definitely some heavy stuff in there. They do punctuate the heavy stuff with him walking on a wall sometimes, and that's something I appreciate too. Is like in the Brundle Museum, even though there's some heavy themes in there, they do some things to keep it light a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. They try to take the edge off a little bit at times.
Yeah.
Well, it's time to head to the wrap up. Dan, do you have any conspiracy theories, hot takes, or odds and ends on the fly?
No.
Wow.
No.
Simple. Bear Claw, how about you?
What if he didn't invent a teleporter? What if he just invented a copier? Like it doesn't move anything. It just copies and destroys the original.
Like Calvin and Hobbes, but horror.
Oh wow, yeah.
What if it? Because think about it, like
what do you call it? The transform.
Write that shit down. Write that shit down.
well, no, it's a little bit of a trope when it comes to teleportation, because there's a couple of like sci-fi sketches on where like what happens if it's like, oh, this guy goes into to be teleported to some planet. They teleport him, but something goes wrong, and they're like, uh-oh, it didn't kill him. And then there's another version of him on the planet, and it's just a copier.
You mean Mickey's 17?
Same kind of concept, but like it's like this company that claims it's a teleporter, but it's a copier. But if you look at what his machine does, it's a little bit more of a copier.
Yeah.
Because the computer interprets things.
The computer is giving us its interpretation of a steak. It's translating it for us.
As soon as the computer is interpreting things and it creates the synthetic tasting steak and everything like that, and it doesn't understand how to recreate something, it's essentially copying something. It's not moving. Like the whole thing with Star Trek is that supposedly it takes matter from one place and brings it to another place, right? Mm-hmm. But this would be kind of functionally different, because this would be taking matter, dissolving it, putting it through a computer program that interprets it, and putting it back together.
Right.
Or making something almost completely new.
Yeah, that's true. See, that's fucked up.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you start thinking more on it. Yeah, for sure.
Like, what's coming out of that other end? If you got into the telepod, would it be you? Or would it be some kind of copy of you? I don't know. And I don't know that you can go anywhere with it, but I mean, it's just an interesting kind of conspiracy theory kind of thing to just, because I got to be honest with you, if somebody came up with teleportation technology, I don't know, unless it was like walking through like a Stargate situation, that's the only way I would use it, because I'm not getting disassembled and reassembled. Fuck that. Like, I am not a Lego set. Like,
no, I hear you. I feel the same way, Bertha. Anything else from you?
Nothing other than that. The Veronica's pregnant. That becomes a real thing in number 2. But
have you guys have seen The Fly too?
I haven't seen The Fly too. I read a thing about it.
Did you like it or no?
It's got a 34% critic score, I think. So.
Down, yeah.
No Goldblum. There's no Goldblum. There's no Cronenberg. So the guy who did the effects, if I understand it correctly, was the director of the sequel. I prefer Goldblum. Fly, the original. It's
okay.
It helps sew up the story, but it's not a great movie overall.
Yeah.
Logan, how about you? Any conspiracy theories, hot takes, or
my big one while I was watching it is Ronnie feels like kind of the villain in her own like little way. She is kind of the person that gets in his head the most in the very beginning, because like she's the one bringing him into a new climate. This is a guy who, like we said, is agoraphobic, who is afraid of other people. And she is very like kind of in her ways. I feel like she kind of leads him in a certain direction. I think like the big thing for me was the line that she said about where she's like, have you ever tested it on humans? And he goes, no, because there'd be like nothing left of them. Like the only thing you can treat on is an inanimate object.
Well, what happens when you try to teleport living things?
Not while we're eating.
That simple like thing, I was just like, oh man, she's like she's almost forcing it. And then she obviously starts like going against him with like recording it like without his knowledge. I think like throughout the movie, obviously she like begins to care for him. But in the very beginning, I feel like she was kind of playing the game. Like she was trying to be more in the head of him.
She's more career motivated in the beginning.
Yeah. I also felt like this is like kind of a weird one, but I think it was kind of like she's the author writing this novel about her experiences. The way she like is a part of this movie is very like she's kind of telling it from like a different perspective, but like I think throughout the movie's runtime, like it feels like she is like an author writing the story as it goes. When her character gets involved, all this shit goes down. Like
That's
until then, it was fine. He was doing just fine, but as soon as she got involved, she was like the spark that lit the match.
That is something to ask yourselves too. If like he didn't meet her, I mean, would this have all happened? And,
probably not.
You know, the scene too where she's like buying him a jacket and stuff.
Yeah,
like she's trying to change him a little bit.
Yep.
So I hear what you're saying. That's a good point. My hot take kind of ties into yours a little bit, Luke. Love makes you do crazy things without thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like jumping in a telepod with a fly.
Telepod, yeah.
Without making sure, little
Yeah,
critters in there.
So, I mean, could we boil down your thesis statement, Logan, to no woman, no cry?
If you want to, Bear Claw, I didn't say it.
No cry.
I want the people to know I didn't say it.
And just an odds and end on this movie too. Jeff Goldblum and Geena Davis started dating in 1985 and were married in 1987.
Oh, wow.
Including The Fly, they appeared together in 3 movies. Can you name the other 2?
Earth Girls.
Earth Girls are easy.
Yep, there's one more.
No, I cannot name the third one.
Well, they met on the set of Transylvania 6-5000.
Oh, yeah. I saw that movie. That's a good movie, too.
It's
a good horror. Well, it's not. I wouldn't even. It would be a real stretch to call that movie a horror
like
movie.
sci-fi.
It's a comedy movie.
Yeah. Well, it's time, boys, for our Hall of Slain. Our Hall of Slain are characters that have died in the movies we review that would help us get through and survive a horror movie because we are the final girl. Are there any characters from The Fly that you would like to nominate?
I mean, there's only one we can really do.
The monkey.
Yeah,
the monkey. Put him in Logan's wing.
I was damn, Bear Claw, you ruined my joke. Hang on, let's go back.
All right, what's the one character we can nominate?
The baboon. That was the joke. I was gonna be like, guys, there's only one character I can think of. That baboon.
The baboon.
Oh, Dan's got one.
Yeah.
I have a character that I would like to nominate to the Logan wing. I'd like to nominate the gynecologist in Veronica's nightmare scene, played by none other than David Cronenberg.
David Cronenberg.
Oh, you got a
Technically, he didn't
gynecologist.
exist. Why do we need a gynecologist? People in my
we don't need one.
people in my hall ain't having that. No babies here.
You got in your hall.
Mrs. Mac.
Mrs. Mac, she's like human.
All right, so do you want to vote the baboon into ours?
I like the baboon. I mean, he's seen.
What can we do with a baboon, though?
I don't know.
What can we do with a
I
fucking
feel like there's
cat?
a lot of uses. What if we need somebody to crawl through a grate and get a
Hey,
key
if,
to a room?
if we got a killer, he can
or-
throw shit at him.
Yeah,
That's true,
what
he
if-
could throw shit.
You know, what if we need an intimidating animal?
What if we want to do
Baboons are scary.
experiments?
What if we want to do unethical experiments on animals? We'd have a baboon to do
All
that.
right, are we bringing them in?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
that
All
one.
right,
Let's go.
baboon.
Gavel sound. The gynecologist, the Logan's wing. What are we thinking?
No,
Play that horn.
Fire it up.
Fire it up.
no, I'm good. I'm good not nominating anyone. Well, you know what though? Life
Goldblum.
finds a way.
You want Jeff Goldblum?
You want Jeff Goldblum?
I want Jeff Goldblum.
You want Brundlefly?
No, I want him I want him when he first showed up on screen in this movie. That is my Jeff Goldblum.
Let's compromise. I'll go halfway fly.
No.
We'll go cum fingers.
Yeah.
Goldblum.
No.
No, I was thinking more second video fly here. Let me me pull it up.
Like the one where he's not fully transformed?
No, the one where he's like explaining to the camera that
How he eats?
How he eats.
Brundlefly breaks down solids with a corrosive enzyme, playfully called vomit drops.
Yeah, and he's like, his eyes are bugged out a little bit. I feel like that's gonna be my compromise with Brundle.
You don't get a compromise. It's my fucking wing.
All right, mad scientist Goldblum.
Goldblum sound.
That's disgusting.
What's a
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. That's more Nicolas Cage. What the hell?
I think
Nicolas
I
Cage.
I think I had an orgasm. Oh my god.
That's it?
Jeff Goldblum. I didn't know he was married to Geena Davis.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, kind
He's
of
married
crazy.
to like some gymnast or something now too. Man, that guy.
What a man.
Yes.
It's time for hook, line, and stinker. Our hook is our favorite kill of the movie. Our line is our favorite line or quote in the movie. And our stinker is something funny, awful, or weird that happens that makes the movie either better or worse. My hook is actually Seth dying at the end because it was, perfect, tragic death that really grabbed you.
Brundlefly telepod.
Yeah, man, machine, bug.
Take me out, man. Is that
Old
Franz
Yeller me.
Ferdinand song. Take me out.
My line is the line from our theme song.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Be very afraid.
I love it. Stinker, the baboon's death.
Yeah, that was
It
mine
was
too.
gross to watch, too. Right?
Yeah, I turned away. I couldn't watch it.
Fortunately, no animals were harmed in the making of this picture, but
I don't know. That baboon ran in fear. I didn't like that.
They made him watch the live one.
it was so cute though
Or wait,
when
he's
like
the
the
same
one that
one.
lived
He,
ran
like,
out of the
jumps in him.
telepod and gave him a big hug. And
Yeah.
See,
We
that's
did
why
it.
I want the baboon.
All right.
I just want a hug from a baboon.
I do. I want a hug from a baboon.
Well,
Not
watch
Molly an angry
Primate.
hug though. Those things are vicious.
Another reason why we want that motherfucker.
He did rip the face off a woman in our state, right?
That was
That was
it
an
wasn't a
ape.
baboon, but it was an ape.
chimp, yeah.
Or a chimp, but don't trust any primates. Let me be clear about that. But
Dan, how about you?
My hook was also Brundlefly. Creature design is awesome, and the headshot explosion was a pretty cool effect. My line is, I'm saying
I'm an insect who dreamt he was a man and loved it. But now the dream is over and the insect is awake. I'm saying I'll hurt you if you stay.
I'll hurt you if you stay.
Yeah.
Going back to, like, again, my whole thesis on this is like a whole representation of the process of grief. And this is like the final stage of it for him. And it's like his acceptance. He's out of time. He will cease to exist. He won't be able to protect the woman he loves. His harsh warning to stay away is the only thing he can do to keep her safe from what's happening. My stinker, Brundle's cum fingers and nail removal scene. So fucking gross.
I don't like nails. Bear Claw, how about you?
my hook is going to be Stanthus's arm and foot, or hand and foot.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. I mean, I had the monkey and Brundle telepod too, but I mean, the arm and foot is a good one there. I have two quotes. The first one is what tells me that David Cronenberg wrote this film, because it's Seth Brundle. He goes, "The computer is giving us its interpretation of a steak. It's translating it for us. It's rethinking it rather than reproducing it. And something's getting lost in the translation. Me, I'm lost."
The flesh. It should make the computer crazy, like those old ladies pinching babies. But it doesn't, not yet. I haven't taught the computer to be made crazy by the flesh, the poetry, the steak. So I'm going to start teaching it now.
I'm going to start teaching it now. And what that kind of harkens back to in my mind is this movie was made after Videodrome. Did anybody see Videodrome?
I've yet to see it.
Oh man, you guys haven't gone deep Cronenberg yet then. Well, that's James Wood, but it's like one of the things that he discovers this like television program, and he calls it like the new flesh. But like Cronenberg's use of the word flesh is just always makes my skin crawl, and it's so much his signature of like flesh and the human body and it misbehaving. And then the other line that I like is insects don't have politics. They're very brutal. No compassion, no compromise. We can't trust insects. I'd like to become the first insect politician. You see, I'd like to, but I'm afraid. And like he's trying to be funny, but at the same time, he's like terrified of what he's becoming. So I thought that was really cool. And a stinker, I don't have one. I think this movie's pretty close to perfect.
Logan.
So I do have the Brundlefly. I feel like there's no other like really like if I had to, I probably wouldn't pick one just because of how like it really wasn't like a amazing kill, but I still think it was a kill nonetheless. My line.
I've come here to say one magic word to you. Cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger. I love it. My stinker, the baboon. That was really awful to watch. Like I literally looked away because I'm like, yep, I'm good.
There was actually a deleted scene where there was another iteration of Goldblum becoming kind of like a weirder in between fly, where he actually puts a cat and a baboon together. He puts them in the telepod and blends them together, and then they like jump out and attack him, and he kills it.
Was that part of his like theory or idea of why he was gonna try to fuse everybody in one pod?
There was, but they deleted that scene because it was kind of a lot. So that was a good call because that is a lot.
Weird.
Yeah, that is
a little too weird.
A little weird. Any honorable mentions?
I have an honorable mention for Stinker. I don't really like how it ends so abruptly. Like no conclusions from like what happens to characters like Veronica or Stathis.
I have a line. Ronnie goes, I don't think I get it. And Seth goes,
You get it all right, you just can't handle it.
Just can't handle it. Talking about how it teleported and things like that. I love that. It's time for our final rating.
They're gonna rate the movie. What will they rate the movie? The killer is great, the victim sucks, the survivor is in between.
What was that?
If this is your first time listening, we have a 3-tier rating system. Killer is the best. Survivor is our middle tier, and finally, the dreaded victim. We also have the ability, once per year, to deploy our Dark Star. For letterbox purposes, we each are able to raise or lower our overall star rating by up to 1 full star, the Dark Star. I'm giving a Survivor, and this is a really strong Survivor for me.
High-end Survivor?
Yeah, high-end Survivor. We'll go with that because I think this movie has amazing practical effects. The acting is phenomenal. I know Jeff Goldblum is awesome in Jurassic Park, but this might be better than Jurassic Park. I really love Jeff Goldblum in this movie. My only issues with this movie are minor, really, and it's just the pacing I felt was a little off towards, like Logan said, towards the end, because there was like dragging on scenes a little bit. I think the ending does make up for that dragging on with the epic conclusion. I think for me, this is just a personal taste thing, and this is a very heavy movie dealing with heavy themes. So this is kind of like a Get Out for me, or a Hereditary that I also put in the Survivor category, just because this isn't one I'm going to want to rewatch over and over again. It is very heartfelt and tugs on your heartstrings. And watching poor Seth transform into the Fly is tough to watch as the audience. But in saying that, I do recommend watching it, especially if you haven't seen this movie. Go out of your way to see it. I think it's worth it, especially as a fan of horror. Dan, how about you?
I'm actually giving The Fly a killer. This movie truly fucks with me. And I'm one of those people who's not afraid or isn't afraid to shy away from heavy emotional things or negative emotions. I think you take the good with the bad in life. And I think this is just like a perfect representation of like life giving you an awful circumstance that you just go through. It's depressing and tragic movie. Again, I was talking about this earlier. It really reminds me so much of like the dying process and people's stages of grief, like dealing with loss of dignity, loss of autonomy, your physical form betraying you, and just like that gravity well of fear. It like pulls you in and everyone else in around you. Brundle pleading with Veronica to keep his baby. That's rough. The fused teleportation pod and him just like wanting like a mercy killing. It's like you said, Kevin, very heavy stuff, very gooey. nails and teeth falling out all over the place. Gradual transformation from man to fly is done so masterfully. The actors are great. The story's great. The effects are great. It's a meaningful movie. I won't rewatch it again because of how heavy it is, like you're saying, but like I would definitely recommend this movie. It's amazing.
Bearclaw.
Awesome. I don't think this is going to be a surprise to anybody, but I think this is a killer. The reason I brought this to the table is I want to bring some other types of horror, some other flavors of horror. And in this one, I wouldn't even say there's a bad guy. Fear takes many forms, and this is just one of them. And certainly, scientific progress, the degeneration of body horror. This really brings it all together. So for me, it's a killer.
Logan.
This is a high-end Survivor for me. I think like Jeff Goldblum definitely is the best part of this movie. If Jeff Goldblum wasn't in this movie, I probably wouldn't have liked it as much.
Yeah.
I think he just adds such a wonderful taste to this movie. I think the big thing for me is I didn't think the music was all there. I didn't think there was any like really good music. Like that's like a really big low point. Like if you don't have music, you kind of lost me.
That's a good point.
I think the plot is all over, the pacing is off, but there are some strong parts of this movie, just the emotional connection, the romantic scenes. I think the terror is really good. The horrifying transformation scenes are brutal and really like they're just horrific to watch, really. I think like it has good aspects. It's definitely like stands alone as like one of those just terrifying movies. But yeah, I think like it's just a little all over the place and not for me personally.
Well, Nathan, our producer, gave his rating and he said, "The Fly is my favorite Cronenberg. Not only is it the best body horror ever made, it's also a profound and emotionally devastating, tragic romance. Killer. If it ends up with less than 4 stars, I give it my dark star. Let whoever fucked it up know they're a Philistine."
Hey guys, do you see that in the distance?
That's no moon.
Dark star.
It's not here. No. Nathan, you don't have to use it because with your rating of a killer, we're at 4 stars because me and Logan gave it Survivor. Bearclaw and Dan gave it a killer. So with your killer, you don't have to use you don't have to deploy it, Nathan. Put it back in.
It'd be funny if I do it though.
Nathan also ended with, "I'm guessing it's probably Logan's fault."
Hey, fuck you. Next time I'm on Straight Jacket Talk, Nathan, I'm putting some harsh words on whatever you pick.
Well, we also asked you, our audience, what your thoughts were on The Fly. From X Snowflake 07X, this movie absolutely impacted me back then and sticks with me. Jeff Goldblum's epic. His transformation is masterclass. I'm still grossed out by it decades later, the absolute pinnacle of body horror. I've only been able to stomach watching it twice, and that's enough to last. Felt like it changed my DNA, laugh out loud. From Dark Natty, Dreams Horror. Love this movie. Watched it recently, and I'd say it still holds up. And yes, oh my God, so icky. That's a perfect
just
way.
Squeezing his fingers out and hitting the mirror.
Oh,
God.
From Coffin Maker _video, fire emoji, fly emoji. And finally, from Dissect That Film Pod, I wish we got more 50s monster movie remakes by Cronenberg. This is one of the greatest remakes ever made, with intense performances and insane practical effects. We may remember Jeff Goldblum mostly from Jurassic Park, but The Fly may be his most memorable and heartbreaking performance. A classic in every sense of the word.
Wow.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your comments. If you would like to participate and comment on any of the movies we review, go to our Instagram at mouths.of.madness and write to us at thepaddedroom@outlook.com, and we'll read them off at the end of our next episode.
Yeah, and also, listen, I've got some strong opinions on this movie being... This movie is often described as Kafkaesque, and any of you literature nerds out there, if you want to go toe-to-toe with me on this, because I don't think it is Kafkaesque, and I know it's all about interpretation, but reach out to me at thepaddedroom@outlook.com, and let's have it out a little bit.
Go toe-to-toe with Bearclaw. Before we end the episode, we want to embrace the madness and let you all know what we've been up to. For me, this past week, I watched the movie Poltergeist for the first time ever from 1982.
Oh, really? What was your...
I liked it a lot. Yeah, I thought it was, I mean, this is like a classic movie. We are reviewing it for Straight Jacket Talk, so that episode should be up soon, and I would definitely check it out. I think it's like one of those movies that really is the blueprint of paranormal horror that would go on afterwards, you know, and some great performances, and I think some of it still holds up to this day.
Creeps me out, man. The stuff that like where it's like some entity invades the home and they can't figure it out. Like
it's in the TV.
Oh yeah, it's in the TV or something.
Yeah,
like
the white
that.
noise.
It's okay, Bear Claw. It can't hurt you anymore.
Well, you don't know that, man. I don't know.
That little lady used to creep me out all the time watching it.
That little girl,
That
man,
little
she's
lady.
creepy.
No, the little lady.
Oh,
little
Zelda
lady.
Rubinstein.
Yeah.
I was talking about this in the episode. We did Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie.
Oh, yeah,
Brennan.
that's right.
She
She's
was the
in there.
librarian, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool to see her in, like, I guess her major role.
Yeah.
I was telling the guys this earlier, but it's cool because this week, just these movies coincided with each other. But in our theme music, the Miles of Madness theme music, we have the line from The Fly, "Be afraid, be very afraid." And from Poltergeist, we have the line, "They're here." So it's very cool. Dan, how about you?
I came across this amazing musician. She's a bass player, kind of popped up on my YouTube. Her name is Mohini Day. I caught her on this channel where she was learning. Gary was a race car driver and she figured it out in like less than 10 minutes. And from there, I kind of just explored her work. She has a self-titled album that came out 2 years ago and I'm really enjoying it. She does a lot of like jazz compositions and fuses them with rock and metal. It's so amazingly technical. If you're a fan of like really, really technical, like playing, like really, you know, expert level playing of instruments, like this is like really, really technical stuff. The other thing I did was I started to watch the X-Files series from the beginning.
Oh,
that's something on my to-do list too. I've never really seen it.
Right, me too. Like I have vague memories of like watching the X-Files when I was younger, but like it was always sporadic and
Yeah.
I always enjoyed the episodes, so I figured, what the hell? Like I'll start from the beginning and there's like 10 years worth of content. Keep me busy.
Nice.
love it. Bear Claw, how about you?
I feel like I'm a little late to the party, but I found out that there's a second season of the Creep Tapes and that it's on Shudder, and that is just one of the most entertaining shows, and the new season does not disappoint either.
Oh, you liked it a lot, huh?
Oh, I loved it. I mean, which is strange for me because I don't usually go for serial killer kind of stuff, but this is so out there and so masterfully done by Mark Duplass, and each episode is really only like 20 minutes. So, I mean, you're kind of in and out, and each one is kind of its own story. It's quintessential horror. It doesn't take itself too seriously, and it gets dark and crazy. I can't recommend it enough, especially because watching a whole season of it is maybe equivalent to a movie and a half. So, I mean, they're bite-sized. It's just really cool to watch. And anybody who likes horror, I think should give it a shot because I think it's fun. And then the new season starts off with the guest star on the first one is
Late Night with the Devil.
The main star there. I forget
Dave
what it is.
Dalmashan?
Dave Dalmashan is on the first episode. Watch the first season first, but then watch the first episode of the second season with Dave Dalmashan, and it's pretty good.
And that's on Shudder, right?
That's on Shudder,
yeah.
yep. And it's just genius. It's a super low budget. It's literally usually most of the time it's just the camera on Mark Duplass, but I mean, he just throws off the creepiest vibes, and you just every time you watch one, and it makes you want to take a bath because all he does is like, you know, the whole premise of it is that he's a serial killer and he rents like an Airbnb somewhere in a remote location, and he puts up like a Craigslist ad to like, hey, cameraman, come out and film me for $1,000 for my, you know, he comes up with different crazy reasons. He's a realtor, or he's doing his like acting role or something like that. And it's always from the perspective of the cameraman as they're driving up, and they're like, where is this guy? And they're filming from the beginning.
Oh, that sounds good, Bear Claw.
Yeah.
I want to check it out for sure. You've been talking about it from the beginning when you watched the first season. So
I'm a big Mark Duplass fan. I really liked him in the League.
Isn't it amazing how he went from the League to this?
Yeah, and in The League, he plays like a pretty relatable kind of good guy character, and in this, he plays a complete creepo.
It's the normal ones you have to watch out for.
Yeah. Oh.
Logue, how about you?
Speaking from one. Yeah, I mean, the big thing for me was in my research for my novel, I went through a couple like big things that I saw that really like piqued my interest in this sort of element of horror. So I watched on Netflix, it's called Oh Hi. I rewatched it. I really love it. I know it's not well rewarded because it is very like campy, but it's also like it's really well like
I've never heard of it.
Dude,
Yeah, what's it about?
So good. It is basically Misery. It is just a new in the age Misery. So the big thing is Molly Gordon, who is on The Bear, who I'm a huge fan of from her performance in The Bear. She is writing movies now. She's big into like, she's getting ready to do her directorial debut with her co-star in The Bear. But I think like this movie is kind of her big thing. Is she wasn't really the director. She collaborated with the director, Sophie Brooks. This movie is amazing. I think it's really like well done. It is about Molly Gordon's character and Logan Lerman, who's kind of a bigger actor. The two of them are kind of like a happy-go-lucky couple who end up having this lovely weekend together, and then things go awry when certain things are thrown in the air, and she kind of goes a little crazy, wackadoo, and it's just kind of like that Misery aspect put with a little bit of like a new age element to it. I think like that's like a really good concept to kind of like go back to, because Misery is one of those movies where I'm like, wow, that's really good. And then I read or started reading, it's this book called Breathe In, Bleed Out. That's really good. It's about this woman who's in this spa, or not a spa, it's like the word, a resort. Like a spa resort, like kind of like that wellness retreat or whatever, and she like stumbles upon this like kind of mystery and this like horrifying like tale. I don't want to go too much into it because like you can spoil so much with just like a few, but it's really good. I just started reading it. It's really well done. And then today, finally got to watch it. This has been one of the movies I've been really waiting for A24, is Eternity. I've been really excited for this. It's with Elizabeth Olsen, Miles Teller, and Callum Turner. It is about Elizabeth Olsen's character going to the afterlife and having to choose between the two of them.
Oh, yeah. I saw something about
Now,
this.
usually I don't go for like those kind of movies because I feel like they're kind of like stupid. They have like their certain like, oh yeah, we know where this is going. I think they do a lovely depiction of choosing between the two sides of Sophie's choice. But like, I love A24's take on it. Like, I think the cinematography is so good. The music is really good. Just the entire thing is like really well done. I think it was like a really good movie. I actually think it's probably my second favorite A24 movie of last year, past like Marty Supreme. I think that was probably the best.
Still haven't seen
really
Marty
good.
Supreme, but I want to see it.
It's
Yeah.
super good. Marty Supreme is super
Is
good.
this streaming yet or no?
No, it's not. It is not. I think like last year was a lot of good movies, and I'm trying to like catch up on a lot of them. So Eternity was one of those that I'm glad I finally caught.
Awesome. Well, if you've enjoyed the show, please join us now on our Patreon. You can be a fully patched in member of Madness for only $1, which is cheaper than a cup of coffee. You'll have early access to episodes, the opportunity to pick a movie for a future episode, plenty of bonus content, and finally, you'll get to be a part of our shoutouts at the end of each episode. And speaking of, we want to thank Jen, Eddie, and Kate so much for your support. Thank you all for being the first members to sign up. We just launched it, so it's really cool that you've joined the madness.
Thank you.
If you haven't already, please subscribe to the Mouths of Madness on your favorite audio platform and YouTube. If you've enjoyed your descent into madness, please rate us 5 stars and leave a review. You can find us on Instagram at mouths.of.madness. Go to our YouTube channel and check out our video podcast Straight Jacket Talk now at Mouths of Madness. Finally, write to Bearclaw at the Padded Room at outlook.com and let him know what insect would you want to transform into.
Yeah, you know, I'm thinking it through. I think praying mantis might be for me. I don't know. I might change my answer.
Oh, I like it, Bearclaw. Go big, go bold. Well, that does it for our review on The Fly. We'll be back soon with another episode, and we're going to be reviewing Hard Eyes.
I'm excited for that one.
just in time for Valentine's Day. But until then, back to the padded room with you. Hey, Log, you want to let us out of here?
I don't think I will.
Get me out of here. Get out. I want out.
You guys are stuck here. Now
Cut
let
the
me
bullshit,
see.
Logan. I want out.
You only have 5 seconds. Just wait until I touch this button.
Oh no. Uh-oh. What's going on?
Oh man, they've been in that incubation pod. Let's see what happens when I open it. Oh my goodness.
What happened to us?
This is disgusting.
I can't move. I only move this leg.
I think I got the other leg. Hold on. Let me see. We look like the Knights of Neat.
Oh god, I gotta kill this thing. Where did I pack that chainsaw?